Bastard.
Sankonan! Sankonan!
John Rambo is serving hard time at a harsh labor camp, smashing boulders all day, 3 years after his violent outburst in the town of Hope, Washington. He looks exhausted, broken down by the endless work and isolation. Then Colonel Sam Troutman, his old military mentor from the war, arrives at the prison facility to see him. Troutman explains the current situation. Intelligence indicates that American soldiers are still trapped in captivity in Vietnam, and the Washington politicians are facing heavy public pressure over it. Rambo is requested for a solo recon operation. Slip in, photograph the suspected enemy camp, and get out. No fighting, no rescue attempts, just hard proof. In return, Rambo earns a full presidential pardon. He accepts. They travel to Thailand, where Rambo meets the command unit, including Erickson, the chopper pilot, and a strict bureaucrat named Marshal Murdoch, who manages the operation from a safe, air-conditioned base. Murdoch lays down strict boundaries for what Rambo can and cannot do. Take photos of the location. Confirm if hostages are there. Do not engage the enemy forces. Do not try a rescue. Rambo remains mostly quiet, but makes it obvious that Troutman is the only man in the room he actually trusts. Rambo jumps from the plane, but his gear gets caught during the drop. He is forced to cut his straps, losing almost all his equipment. He lands in the jungle with just a few items: a knife, his signature compound bow, and the explosive tipped arrows he favors. A group of local river pirates hired by his contact, a female Vietnamese operative named Quao, transports him upstream toward the objective. He arrives at the enemy camp, verifies the prisoners are inside, and chooses to ignore his orders by saving one of them. He rescues a soldier named Banks and heads back toward the extraction site with Cohen Banks. Suddenly, an enemy gunboat corners them on the water. The treacherous river pirates trap them, cutting off their path to safety. Rambo destroys the enemy boat using a rocket-propelled grenade and wipes out the pirates, continuing his run to the pickup zone. A rescue chopper nears the area with Troutman on board. For a second, it seems like Rambo will escape safely. But Murdoch, monitoring from headquarters, radios Erickson and demands he cancel the pickup. The helicopter pulls away. Soldiers physically hold Troutman back from helping, leaving Rambo and Banks stranded to be captured by the Vietnamese troops. Back at the base, Troutman confronts Murdoch, who drops his act. The mission was engineered to fail from the start. If Rambo proved American prisoners were alive, the government would be forced by the public to launch a massive rescue, risking a brand new war. The goal was to send an agent, find zero evidence, and close the prisoner issue for good. Troutman looks at him with pure disgust. Back at the camp, Rambo realizes that Russian military officers are directing the entire operation alongside the local troops. Lieutenant Colonel Podovsky, the Russian leader, begins torturing Rambo for information with the help of his massive right-hand enforcer, Sergeant Yusin. Podovsky forces Rambo to speak into a radio transmitter to warn Murdoch that any more rescue missions will face deadly consequences. When Rambo stays silent, Podovsky uses intense electrical shocks on him over and over again. Rambo refuses to break. Podovsky then brings Banks into the room and threatens to brutally blind him. Rambo finally relents and agrees to speak into the microphone. He keys the radio, but rather than reading the prepared statement, he targets Murdoch directly with a death threat. Suddenly, Ko, who sneaked into the compound, helps Rambo break custody. They successfully flee into the deep jungle. While running from the tracking search parties, Rambo promises to bring Ko back to America once they escape. She shares her dream of a peaceful life. The tender moment ends instantly. Lieutenant Tay, a Vietnamese officer, ambushes and shoots her dead before they escape. Rambo buries her body, tears a strip of red fabric from her clothes to tie around his forehead, and unleashes a brutal one-man war. He takes out Tay with an explosive arrow. He swims under a Russian chopper, boards it mid-air, throws Yuzin to his death, and takes command of the helicopter. Armed with the gunship, he flies back to unleash hell on the prison camp, landing briefly to load Banks and the rest of the captives inside. Podolsky chases after them in a heavily armed Soviet Super Puma attack chopper. Rambo fakes a crash landing to trick his pursuer close, then fires a rocket launcher to blow Podolsky's helicopter to pieces. He flies his rescue team straight back to the American headquarters. When the chopper touches down, a stunned Erickson is waiting on the tarmac. Rambo corners Murdoch, pins him to his desk, and slams a knife right into the wood next to his face. He warns Murdoch to use every asset available to rescue every single remaining soldier, or else Rambo will come back for him. He then walks away from the command post, disappearing alone into the wilderness, leaving the military life behind. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on our next upload. Share your thoughts or favorite scene in the comment section below. I appreciate the support, and I'll see you in the next one.